People don't quite recognise that it's the actions we take, the little ones, that are based on love, duty and care.
It's not just about allowing people in, it is about dismantling the systems of power that forces people out.
Down with the system!
Boycotts are not enough, petitions are not enough, protests alone are not enough. We must unshackle ourselves from the chains of British colonialism.
So we've been out here today as part of the Climate Justice Coalition, which has been over 60 organisations coming out to demand that we end fossil fuels, but also end the genocide. This march has taken place during the UN Climate Summit COP29, and we do an annual march to call for climate justice. But now, as a movement, we are understanding that there cannot be climate and environmental justice whilst people are getting their lands devastated and their livelihoods destroyed in an ongoing genocide. So our call for climate justice is now also a call for an end to the genocide and an end to war and conflict.
I'm here today because I am just distraught and desperate that there is just so little action on social justice and climate change. And we've had some amazing speakers today telling us why the Global South is suffering so much because basically of the luxuries that we have in the North, and how it's getting worse, and people are suffering socially and environmentally, and it's just got to stop. And we've got to get together and say, not only enough is enough, but we've actually got to organise and start really getting active in our position. So it was really, really impressive to hear so many speakers from so many different countries really passionately appealing for an end to the injustice. And time's run out. You know, we've all got to get out, feet on the streets, make some noise and get rid of this structure that we have, because it's destroying everything.
Yeah, so last week obviously we see Trump get re-elected to the White House, who's a known climate denier, known architect of the far right. And with that, I just think it's even more important now that our different movements come together, because really the people together united, we are really powerful, but we are fighting against a rise in far right and authoritarian politics, and we can't be complacent. So this re-election of Trump is a warning sign to all of us on the grassroots that we have to continue to come out and build power together.
What steps do you think should be taken?
So within our movement spaces, we all need to understand and empathise with each other's struggles. I think we all need to really educate ourselves really around the root causes of the different issues that we face right now as well, and have empathy to those who might not agree with us. Right now in the UK, we've seen a rise in the far right, it's been deemed, which has been really a lot of people who are on low income, who are poor households, who have been fed a narrative that it's migrants or refugees they have to blame. So what we have to do is combat that narrative and come back with a message of hope, of love, of unity, of solidarity, and present that the world can be better.
Stop glowing at the hands that strangle us, break them, fight them until they release their grip. We fight the corporations that profit from displacement, the governments that turn crisis into opportunities, the media that turns migrants into enemies. These are the architects of this violence, and they must be confronted head on.
Who do you think is responsible for the structure?
Big oil, mainly, and big corporations broadly, vested interests of all kinds, people that are more interested in money than in our future.
Do you think our current leader, our current party in power, Labour, and also recently Donald Trump has been elected, what do you think will happen with these three entities in power? With the big oil companies and the elites?
It's really terrifying. The only thing I can hope for is that it's such a terrible situation politically that it will enrage people enough for them to get politically active. That's all I can hope for, that it will have that counter effect of getting more people out and expressing their anger and dismay and pushing for change, real sustainable change.
So do you think the main culprit is it just the oil companies, or do you think it could be other people?
Well, I mean, I think big oil is definitely leading the inertia against change, but certainly other big corporations, mining companies, big agriculture, big pharmaceutical companies, big corporations generally who don't see the benefit in change at the moment.
Essentially, they're all kind of working together in a way.
They all have interests in keeping the status quo. Certainly, I can't say that they all work together as one unit, but they certainly are all pushing in the same direction against change.
Thank you. So, final question. So, practical steps for people who care about the climate, care about change. What could they do? What can an individual do? If they see this.
Yeah, I think they need to organise. I mean, there are so many campaign groups out there already, and all those campaign groups are saying we need more people. We need more support financially. We need more support out on the streets, lobbying government, pushing for change, talking about change. So take your pick, whether it's Palestine Solidarity Campaign or Greenpeace or Extinction Rebellion or trade union, but just get involved in some kind of organisation that is progressive and is demanding change, because when those numbers increase and we all get together, then we become very powerful.
The climate crisis is here, the genocide is ongoing, and we are out of time. We must not settle for survival. We demand liberation, we demand justice, and we demand a future where everybody has the right to stay, the right to move, the right to resist. This is not a plea, this is a warning. We are here because you were there. We are here because you were there. And we are not leaving this struggle until the systems that brought us here are torn down. Right to move, right to stay, right to resist.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Yazan, for those.